please honest here this evening, Nigel. It's no easy task here for the home team, because the Pirates, every time they just look like the home team are going to creep away, they respond.
Well, they took the lead for the first time, didn't they, on heat number 7. Then they got another 4-2 in heat 8. And just as maybe they got a bit of flow about their performance, they were really riding nicely, then that 1-5-1 for Poole hurt them. So let's see how heat 10 goes now. Chris Holder, the 2012 world champion, off the inside in white. Danny King goes off gate 2 in red for the Bees. Davey Watt, gate 3 yellow for the Pirates. Freddie Lindgren outside in blue for the Bees. This combination of Holder and Watt got a 5-1 in heat number 1. If they repeat that in heat number 10, then they know that it's job pretty well done in the first leg, because there'll be 5 heats to go, and surely if they get a 4-point lead here after 10 heats, then they're going to keep it close whatever.
I think it'll be close anyway, Nigel. I sense that throughout the evening. I just think that nobody's really going to run away with it. Holder and Watt have a great understanding on the track, and if they hit the front, I think it'll be very difficult for Lindgren and King to peg them back. But as we've seen so far this evening, nobody's really got or stamped their authority on this meeting so far. It looked like the home team were going to, and then the Pirates really got themselves right back in it. Holder, of course, has struggled with injury, had an awful accident here a couple of years ago, so not always his favourite venue, but he's a class act if he hits the front.
Here we go with heat number 10. Oh, it's a flying start from Danny King in red.
Oh,
he's lost it completely.
A flying dismount as well in the first corner. Danny King very fortunate not to get collected there.
Goodness gracious me.
Well, he roared out of the tapes, got to the middle of the first corner, and the bike leapt up underneath him. We saw that on Monday as well with Scott Nicholls. The bike literally just climbing up underneath him. The rider had no chance at all. Holder on the inside. King's made a smashing start from gate 2.
I think Watt's done well to avoid him here.
Oh, he has.
Look at that. Oh!
Remarkably lucky. He lands heavily. Do think he'll be okay. Possibly his left thigh is just a bit knocked about, but Danny King into the first corner, comfortably in front, just gets that rut there. You see it clearly. Far too much grip. Back tire digs in, spits him off the back. You're dead right. Davey Watt does everything in his powers, just misses him. Oh, that's a touch of good fortune for Danny King. Unfortunately, he'll be able to get up, but he will be excluded, and that's a blow to the home team.
That is great work from Davey Watt. I know people say it's a natural instinct for you Speedway riders, but...
Whoa. What an angle that is, and just misses him. A touch of good fortune as well. No brakes, of course, on a Speedway right. He's just shut the throttle off.
And Danny's walking away.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. And what a fantastic start it was, but you can see quite clearly the rut there on the entrance to the first corner there. He grabbed it, the back tyre literally hooked up underneath him. He's just inspecting it, as is now Chris Harris, and it's reared. It's obviously appeared in the last couple of heats, but well, I think he'll be just relieved. You'll see it now quite clearly. It's appearing now. The tyre will get into that rut, and now too much grip. That literally stalls the bike. That creates all this grip, and the bike leaps up underneath him, and then he really is a passenger and has to bail out. And as you rightly pointed out, the rider on the outside now, he is seeing this and is desperately trying to avoid the rider who is just sliding across in front of him. He's doing everything in his power to scrub the speed off, and he just about pulls it off. Brilliant from Watt, and fortunate for King.
Well, Danny King owes Davey Watt one, for sure.
Yeah, he owes him a beer, doesn't he, afterwards, that's for sure.
Well, Davey Watt was brilliant there, and I'll tell you what, Davey Watt went straight over to see that Danny King was okay as well. Yep. And I think he's just going over to say, hey, thanks very much, pal. You saved my bacon.
Thank you very much.
Great
indeed.
To see, isn't it? Great to see.
It is, and that's where there's mutual respect between riders. Everybody knows how tough the business is, and Danny King, he knows he got away with something there. George Ward's there just shaking his hand. Bit of a chit-chat between the two boys, but fundamentally he's just thanked him for doing everything he could to miss him. So, yep, good to see him up and about.
Big sigh of relief where Danny King's concerned, although...
Frustration as well, because he'd made such a smashing start. You know, when you've made a start like that as a rider and you got your nose in front, as you get to the first corner, you think, right, I've got this one. You know, you've done the hard yards getting to the first corner. but there was no way he could hang on to the bike in that rut, could he?
Well, they have